Sean Zittel here, my man Andres Cortes taking on Eridson Garcia, April 5th, headlining on Paramount Plus, Zuffa 5. And yeah, Andres, let's take it back to the top ranked gym back in January, man. Your yeah, your brother, your
Yeah,
older brother, right?
yeah, my older brother. Yeah,
Yeah, your older brother, your manager, he felt there was opportunities to be had on that
right.
side, on Paramount, on Zuffa, and ultimately here you are headlining their fifth card, man. Well, let's start, man. I've heard you can confirm or pass on it, but I've heard you're making by far a career high in this fight. Is that true?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So it was that. Because at the time we were talking, you were talking about you were in the top ranked gym, still
Yeah,
talking about maybe pursuing a fight with Abdullah Mason for the WBO
yeah.
title, something like that. What was it that ultimately made you jump at the opportunity with Zuffa then?
I've always believed in Zuffa. I've known about Zuffa way before anybody started hearing about it. It's always been a thing. It was just a matter of time when. Um, I just for me, I think it was right time and everything. Them being here in Vegas. I'm born and raised in Vegas. I think it just made perfect business sense for my career.
Talking about being born and raised in Vegas, you're from North
Yeah.
Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Which is known historically as one of the tougher parts of Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Could
yeah.
What was that like growing up in North Las Vegas?
Well, I didn't live there very long. When I was a child, we moved to Henderson, which there was at the time nothing there. Nothing as when I remember. It was just a bunch of like dirt hills and, um, yeah, there was nothing there. But it was, yeah. So I actually got to get away from all that.
Yeah, was that kind of you think designed by your folks? Let's get him out of this area as a kid and
I mean. I really don't know, but if you've been here and you're familiar with the area, I mean, you don't want to stay around there too long. I think we were when I was first born. I think they were in an apartment. You know, so three kids in an apartment. Yeah, yeah, didn't make sense at the time.
just to go back to the pay thing, man. Is it by you would say a significant margin? Like how significant a margin would you say is your this career high payday?
I mean, it's look, I had good money with Top Rank as well. But it's definitely a good amount more and I finally see the light. I see the light. It's good money to change my life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. Now I believe this is your first time headlining, isn't it?
Yeah, first time headline.
How does that feel to be the role of a headlining fighter now?
It feels good, especially me never getting the opportunity and now it's here in my first fight in Las Vegas, so in my hometown. It feels amazing. It's definitely something that I've dreamed of as a kid, having cameras following me doing all the media stuff. uh like I said, it's something that I really visioned since a kid, and now it's here, so I'm definitely taking full advantage of this opportunity.
One thing watching you that you know, not always having the physical shape of some
Yeah,
of these guys that are ranked as high as you've been
yeah,
able to climb to. Is
yeah.
that something we see a little different at 135 pounds? And here, do you feel in better shape than previous
A-
fights?
Absolutely. I was killing myself to make 130, and I do think that my diet, I was doing it completely wrong. Like I was cutting out a lot of things that I shouldn't have. So I was taking my muscle, taking a lot of things out, um, just to make weight. So I was pretty much like draining and killing my body to make weight. Now I'm definitely feeling a lot better, less stress. obviously I'm still cutting, just not as I guess mentally I'm not putting that pressure like, oh, I'm gonna miss weight, I'm gonna miss weight. Now, yeah, I feel good, I feel comfortable, much stronger. I'm still I'm less than 2 weeks away. I'm still very sharp. I can still lift really heavy. Usually I'm starting to feel it. I feel great right now though.
Are you just never gonna be a six pack guy? Is there just some fighters
Oh
aren't?
no, no. I mean, too. I've been taking it. Kind of just winging my diets. Because I've never had a nutritionist or nothing like that. So I was kind of just winging it, just eating this, that. Now I actually got with the UFC, they provide nutritionists. So I'm definitely gonna be in a lot better shape. Well, I'm in better shape right now. So you might be surprised a little bit.
Now, I know intelligent fighters come in all shapes and size, all different types of style.
Yeah,
Intelligence doesn't necessarily mean boxing backwards, so off the back foot and that kind of
yeah,
thing. Because I know you always pride yourself to me when we talk on your IQ, but when you watch your fights, it's very much a Pitbull style,
yeah,
but you know the right time to cut that distance. You have a good sense of that, but when I think Andres Cortes, I think a pit bull. I think the guy
yeah.
ripping combinations, making it rough on the inside. So, do you think though that's selling you short at all, or you're just an intelligent pit bull? Like, is that the right way to put it? Or
I've done fights where I boxed, the whole fight. I think my style is definitely depends on what my opponent's giving me. Because I could fight both ways. Some of my best wins are off my back foot. Um, and people forget too, I had, a lot of amateur, I
Mhm.
represented USA. So I mean, to do that, you're not gonna do that brawling,
Right.
get into those top amateur positions. I really feel like I can do anything in there. It's just my thing is like if I can't respect your punch, I'm going forward. That's how I see it. If I don't respect that punch, and I know you can't hurt me, I'm going forward, and if I respect it, I'm gonna box a little bit, take my time. But if I don't respect your punch, I'm gonna walk right through you.
Do you see Eridson Garcia as a puncher? What's funny? I'm watching
Yeah,
him, and I'm like,
yeah,
this dude looks like a young Keith Thurman. Like he's got the
yeah,
he's got the braids, and he wings them sometimes
yeah,
like Thurman used to. But do you see him as a guy? I know you don't know until you get in there,
yeah.
but yeah.
I'm expecting for him to have some pop. I mean, he on video, on tape, he looks like he does, but it'll be a completely story once we get in there. I'll really, 'cause at the end of the day, you can do all the film you want, all the stuff, everything, all the homework,
hmm
and your opponent may not fight the way you think he will fight, fight night. So, I'm ready for everything. I'm expecting everything, and I'm ready for whatever.
On the stat sheet, he is the taller fighter with the
Yeah.
more reach. You're just getting to the 135-pound division, and yet I feel like you might still be the bigger man. Is that?
Yeah. No, I definitely expect to be the bigger man. I don't think people realize like how big I get like outside of my camp, and I feel like that's not me being like crazy eater or eating nothing crazy. It's just naturally like I get, I'm a little bit bigger. So when I rehydrate, I'm usually leaving these guys and rehydrate weight and in the dust. I'll go in there a lot more heavier. Yeah, I definitely expect to be much bigger than him on fight night.
Hey man, that it wasn't shade thrown. We're talking about six
No.
pack and stuff.
Hey, no,
That's
no,
where
no, no, no. Yeah,
that's where
yeah,
being a
yeah.
big boy helps
Yeah,
you
yeah.
absorb shots, and you're the bigger guy in there when you
Yeah,
cut
yeah.
down. So
No, absolutely. I just yeah, it's what you in life you get what you got. So
mhm.
it's what I'm working with, yeah.
You're pretty mean in the ring. And
Yeah.
once we get to fight week, like the chill dude talking to me right now kind of goes
No,
out the window
I mean,
usually.
look, man, I'm pretty chill. It's just you know, fight night, it's business, and I see it like you're trying to take what I've worked for. So obviously I can't be nice. I've worked since a 5 year old, since I was 5 years old. I've been working towards this goal. So obviously, your mind gotta switch a little bit. 'Cause then I started getting all those thoughts of, man, I did that when I was 8. I did this when I was 10, 11. You can't let that go to waste.
Well, then, just I'm on my Andres Cortes
Yeah.
verbiage here. Are you gonna beat his ass in this main event?
Absolutely. I'm gonna knock his ass out.
And then too, man, there's this thing at Zuffa. You saw what happened with Gio Paya. Are you still caring about the sanctioning body belts? Did what happened with Navarrete never getting that title shot when you were ranked number 1 for his belt for so long disenchant you about that? Are you like, I just want to win a Zuffa belt. I just want to make the most money possible. Like, where's your head at with all that stuff?
Absolutely. I was chasing those fights, my whole career. It started with like Valdez, it started then with Foster, then Navarrete. And I know those fights were presented to them as far as I was told. Um, I was told that all those fights for all those opponents were presented to them. They just never accepted it. So if it felt very unfair, I was beating all these guys, doing what I had to do, and I was still somehow getting ranked backwards. So that stuff kind of just it put me in a weird situation because I would see these guys and I know I can hang with them. I know I can beat them, and it's just I was never getting that opportunity. And here with Zuffa, I feel like I'm getting opportunity, my first fight. So yeah, it's really, I'm not paying attention to any of that. And yeah, it's that's out the books. I'm just focused on the Zuffa belt.
Yeah, well, I'm happy for you getting this opportunity, Andres.
Thank you.
Regardless of what people think my public stances are, but I'm
Yeah.
happy for you. I got